everyone, thank you for tuning into the second episode of Students for Free Tibet Canada Video Blog. In the past 4 months of February, March, April, and May, we at Students for Free Tibet Canada organized numerous events. And today I'll be sharing with you a few video footages and photos of those major events, starting off with the debrief of our second annual Eat for Tibet event. On February 26, 2012, Students for Free Tibet Canada held its second annual Tibetan food festival, Eat for Tibet, where many Tibetans and supporters joined together on a beautiful spring day to enjoy all the delicious Tibetan delicacies. The event was a huge success in continuing to further raise awareness about Tibetan culture and tradition and the Tibetan freedom movement. We would especially like to thank the participating restaurants Le Tibet, Tibet Kitchen, Tsamba Cafe, Shangri-La, Om Restaurant and Himalayan Cafe in the Parkdale area of Toronto for their generous support. About a week after Eat for Tibet, Students for Free Tibet Canada members actively took part in the annual March 10th Uprising Day by performing a political theater piece in front of Dundas Square, where hundreds of Tibetans and non-Tibetans watched the depiction of many forms of brutality that Tibetans inside Tibet face. And here's a small clip of the political theater.
Hey, you! Hey, get away! Hey, free Tibet! Shut up! Shut up! Stop hitting her! No, we have to help them! We have to help them! Free Tibet! May His Holiness return to Tibet! Free Tibet! We have to act now! Free Tibet! China!
As all this is happening, since February, Regional Tibetan Youth Congress, Tibetan Women's Association, and Students for Free Tibet Canada have been consistently hosting weekly Thakar Vigil in Toronto. On April 25th, a special vigil was held by Students for Free Tibet Canada in front of the Chinese consulate in commemorating the 23rd birthday of His Holiness the 11th Panchen Lama and also calling for his release. Panchen Lama was abducted by the Chinese Communist government when he was merely 6 years old, making him the youngest political prisoner in the world. And here are some photos of the National Director of Students for Free Tibet Canada, Urgen Baditsang, flying a banner with the Panchen Lama's image signed with everyone's wishes into the sky. The Panchen Lama still remains in prison after 17 years, and China has yet to provide evidence of his well-being. Call for his release and take action today at www.freepenchenlama.org. Along with the weekly Thakar Vigil, Students for Free Tibet Canada members have been canvassing every Saturday outside of Tsamba Cafe in the Parkdale region of Toronto. The purpose of canvassing is to raise awareness about the current issue in Tibet, as well as to help generate funds by educating bypassers and potential supporters about the basic history of Tibet, the ongoing repression, and the denial of basic human rights by China. Through the means of canvassing, we at Students for Free Tibet Canada generated a lot of encouragement, new supporters, and some funding in the form of Roundsin members and one-time donors. If you would like to join us in a movement towards a free Tibet by opening a chapter in your respective area, being a Roundsin member or a one-time donor, you could visit our newly polished website at www.sft-canada.org. An exciting and an extremely touching event was the political prisoner Dhondup Wanchchen's wife Lhamutso's tour across Canada. In the month of May, starting from Toronto, Lhamutso visited many cities such as Victoria, Vancouver, Ottawa, Calgary, and Montreal, where she gave talks on the trials and tribulations of being a wife of a political prisoner. Students for Free Tibet Canada, Amnesty International, and Canada Tibet Committee partnered together to bring forth their issues in hopes to shed light on the sufferings and unfair trials that many Tibetans inside Tibet face, and in hopes that the global support will lead to an earlier release of Dhondup Wanchchen. To learn more about Dhondup Wanchchen and other political prisoners and what you can do to help, please visit www.freetibetanheroes.org. Finally, as we're about to wrap up this long video blog, we move on to our very exciting and successful event. On May 2nd and 3rd, Students for Free Tibet Canada members went to Ottawa to lobby more than 25 MPs and senators to join the Tibetan movement and to represent the voices of many Tibetans and Tibetan supporters inside Canada. The lobbyists went fully prepared to Parliament Hill, leading in many MPs signing the Stand Up for Tibet pledge and making statements in the House of Commons about the recent issues inside Tibet. And here are some of the issues and resolutions that our lobbyists brought up on Lobby Day for Tibet.
We were able to successfully bring up issues including self-immolations, nomad rights, and the Stand Up for Tibet campaign.
During the lobby, I spoke with many different MPs and senators regarding the situation in Tibet and the self-immolations, which was one of the most important issues and is right now in Tibet. And for us Tibetans as well. Most of these MPs and senators were really supportive.
We met with the MPs and called on them to initiate a multilateral forum and also join US and Japan in adopting a motion that calls for China to stop the crackdown in Tibet.
And I definitely recommend anyone with the opportunity in their respected areas to lobby for Tibet.
You can call or write a letter to your local MP to urge them to join the Enough campaign by signing the online petition at standupfortibet.org. Thank you for watching, everyone, and stay tuned to get updated about more events in the future. Pegalo.